'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a problematic word. What? Hello and welcome. It is 10:30. It is Christmas Eve, 2021. We made it. We survived another year of nonsense. And speaking of nonsense, I am your guide to all the tabletop role-playing game news, weather, sports, controversy, and general internet nonsense. It's Christmas. We shouldn't be talking about this, but we are because it's news and it's Friday, and Monday, Wednesday, Fridays are news days, even if it's news I just find at this point utterly, painfully pointless. Get off my lawn. So, yes, the problematic words, racism thing in the tabletop role-playing game hobby has reared its head yet again. We thought we were done with this. It has been disproven multiple times from multiple sources that D&D is racist, Oriental is racist, orcs are racist, not only by creators of the game, but linguists and scientists and evolutionists and people from multiple parts of society and culture have all said, no, this is not racist. Multiple Asian people have said, no, Oriental Race Adventures is not racist. So, yeah, but apparently it's an easy go-to. So I can understand why, if somebody wants to be controversial and get those hate clicks and prove to the whoever it is that they're with it, with whichever is culturally cool right now, the racism, bad things about tabletop role-playing games is easy. I mean, we went through this before with the satanic thing and the violence thing and the drug thing, and now it's racism and problematic words. So the racism thing came up again over the past week because of Oriental Adventures. Really, you're still talking about a almost 30-year-old product that came and went in the flash of an eye, had very little actual influence on D&D as a whole when you think about it. And yeah, it has been disproven from multiple sources that it's not racist, but at least somebody thinks it's still racist. It's 2021. That came out in the 80s, but yeah, just now apparently great white saviors and American-born individuals are telling us that this book is racist. The other big thing is problematic words. Multiple RPG publishers are removing what they consider problematic words. So recently we discovered in the last role-playing game you would think it would be in, but in the most recent edition of Mongoose Publishing's Paranoia role-playing game, it's a game all about weirdness and tongue-in-cheek and strangeness and conspiracies. So you would think that they would be the least likely game to jump on the bandwagon, has jumped on the problematic word bandwagon. And the problematic word that's being addressed is die. D-I-E, as in six-sided die. And the quote is, shouldn't you refer to them as die, not dice? Because I guess they're rolling. The sentence was roll 1d6-sided dice. Well, the singular of dice is die, and the plural of dice is dice. But Mongoose Publishing said, in all honesty, we use the word die enough in this game, and we don't want it to be problematic or confuse anybody. We don't want anybody's feelings to be hurt by the word die, because it might, trigger something, because the word die, D-I-E, is problematic. Because I guess, at some point in something in your life, you know somebody who died, and the word die might trigger memories of that death, because we all have had somebody in our life die at some point in time. And yeah, that might trigger a bad memory, and it might upset you, because if I say roll 1d6 die, it might, it's a problematic word, so they're getting rid of it. So it's now 1d6 dice, which not only makes no sense, is bad grammar. The singular is die, the plural is dice. And does this go for every use of the word die? What about tool and die machines? You know? Is that word problematic now? We can't call them tool and die machines. What about red dye or blue dye or, DYE? Is that now problematic too? We can't call it red dye anymore or green dye, or I'm going to tie dye your shirt. Tie dye is now problematic. What about DIY? Do it yourself. D.I.Y. Or the pro wrestling tag team DIY. Is DIY now problematic too? Is it going to trigger some bad memories? What do it yourself DIY is now, we can't have any more DIY books or videos or anything because it might trigger. What about Princess Di or somebody whose name is Diana and the abbreviation is Di, D-I? Di, could you come here please? The phone's for you. Is that now problematic? I can't call my friend Diana Di because it might trigger, because the word die is problematic? I don't know. What would you replace the word with? Because, yes, I could see replacing one die with one dice. Roll 1d6 dice instead of rolling 1d6 die. I mean, it's bad grammar, but who actually, most people say hand me a six-sided dice anyways. So that one, but what about the other uses of the word die? What should I replace, red dye with? Tie-dye. Princess Di, tool and die. I mean, there's multiple things that use the word die to reference something, but that's now a problematic word, an offensive word. We're offended by that word, so we have to change it. Okay, fine. What should I change it to? Tool and dice? Red dice number 5? Hey, Dice, could you come here? The phone's for you. Oh, today we mourn the death of Princess Dice. Or I guess we could just change it even further, We won't call it DIY anymore, do it yourself. We'll just call it, I don't know, can't use the letter D, so MIY, make it yourself. Red dye number 5 will now be red coloring number 5. Tie-dyes will now be called, that's a lot of colors on a shirt and a swirly pattern. My friend Diana will no longer be referred to as Di. She will now be referred to as her full name, Diana, or by her middle name, I guess. Princess Diana Spencer, who we all refer to as Princess Di, will now be referred to either by her royal title, Princess Diana, or just Miss Spencer, because die is problematic. And we can't call it six-sided die anymore. So we could call it six-sided dice, or we could just remove that word altogether because it's problematic. Dice has D-I-E in it. So let's call it six-sided thing. Could you roll 3D six-sided things until somebody finds the word thing problematic, I suppose. So yeah, that's the news for Christmas. That's what a wonderful, cheery present to find in your stocking. Simple words are now being problematic and being removed from the lexicon of the language. So when does it stop? I mean, is hand problematic? What about stapler? Is that now a problematic word? Telephone? Pastel? I'm just looking at things around my room. Spoon? Pasta? Microwave? Bag? Trash can? Cat? Bagels? Are these all now problematic words that have to be removed because somebody might be offended? Oh, bagels. It's offensive to me because I'm a Jew. Oriental people are offended by the word pasta. I don't know where it ends. I guess we just stop using language at some point because every word will be offensive to somebody. So in closing, subscribe to my vlog. Help me reach 1,000 subs. I am the OGGM. If you appreciate the words coming out of my mouth, hit that like, hit share, hit that subscribe. hit that notification button. Consider supporting me by donating to my charity of choice for Christmas, Team Primetime. Have a great day. I hope the rest of your Christmas is much less stressful than this vlog, and we will actually have some good news regarding the tabletop role-playing game hobby going into the future. Till then, get off my land!